Recently in Japan, the Pokemon Company have revealed 8 new EX start decks that are coming out soon. And they've said there's 10. There's 2 mystery decks they have not revealed yet, but we can see the first 8 right here. And while there's no guarantee that we're going to get all of these as EX decks internationally, there's almost certainly we're going to get all of these at some point in some shape or form. Some of them will likely end up as EX starter decks. Some of them will end up just worked into our mainline sets or special sets. And I thought, since we've got the translations, thanks to Poke Guardian, let's go take a look at them. I'm Jet from inthirdperson.com. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about the new EX cards that have been revealed. And let's start from the top. We'll just work our way down the list. Decidueye EX, Stage 2 Pokemon, 320 HP. It's got the ability Untethered. Once during your turn, you may use this ability. If this Pokemon is on your bench, switch it with your active Pokemon. If this Pokemon is in the active spot, switch it with one of your bench Pokemon. So yeah, you get a little bit of a switch option here. And I don't know. I don't think this is particularly strong. Especially, I mean, you could use it for like, half a cross switcher, I guess, of like you move it in the active and then you can switch or what have you. But I don't think this ability is particularly strong. And then for 1 grass, 1 colorless, has Hunting Arrow for 130 damage, and this attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. I could be missing something here, but I don't think this Decidueye is particularly strong, especially since it's a stage 2 Pokemon. Only does 130 damage. Yeah, it's only 2 energy, but like 130 plus 30, and a free switch, and you have to switch with Decidueye. Not good enough. And we'll skip over the pre-evolutions here, and we'll just talk about the EXs. Unless there's something notable here. No, there isn't. Okay. Clefable EX. It's got the ability Lunar Zone. Your Pokemon that have any psychic energy attached to them have no retreat cost. And for 3 psychic energy, Moon Magic, 170 damage, and move any amount of psychic energy from your Pokemon to your other Pokemon in any way you like. There is some potential synergy here with the Clefairy from Lost Origin, the one that attaches a whole bunch of energy when it's in the active and you move stuff around. Clefable EX could give you free retreat, and then you could just like move a little easier. Also flooding the board with energy. Maybe you can then attach it to like a Shadow Rider with a Leafy Camel Poncho. Just throw like 10 energy onto the Shadow Rider so it can one-shot something on the following turn. I don't actually know if this is good enough, but because of the synergy with the Lost Origin Clefairy, I think this could be interesting. All right. Here we go. Victini EX. Basic Pokemon, 190 damage. For 1 fire energy, Strafe, you may switch this Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. Nothing to see here. And Victory Flame for 2 fire and a colorless, 220 damage. And this Pokemon can't attack during your next turn. This is... I mean, we've seen that you can move, switch back and forth to negate that, but really 220, you might get a knock on a Pokemon V, take 2 prizes or a basic EX, but you're getting knocked out right back. You've only got 190 HP. I don't think this is particularly strong, unfortunately. Greninja EX, Stage 2 EX, 300 HP, 1 retreat, water type. For 1 colorless, Stealthy Shuriken, this attack does 40 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. It's like a really bad Sableye on a Stage 2. Not gonna work. And then 2 water, Strong Stream Slash for 120 damage. Plus, if your opponent's active Pokemon already has damage counters on it, this attack does 120 more damage. Now, that 240 for 2 energy is not bad. And there's a Starmie coming up in Pokemon 151 that like drops a damage counter when you evolve up to it, and you could use Hawlucha and Alakazam. Like 240s for 2 energy is not bad. However, this is a stage 2 Pokemon, and with the likes of, I mean, Palkia's already in the game, Ice Rider's already in the game hitting for more damage. We've got the Chen Pao Baxcalibur stuff coming out soon. I don't think this is going to cut it. But as like a starter deck card, this is not bad. It's not bad. All right. We've also got a different Miraidon EX. This is interesting. This is the first time we have seen a Pokemon get different mechanical cards, like mechanically different cards in the Pokemon trading card EXs, by the way, in the modern era, right? So this one has, for 1 lightning, quick draw, 20 damage, draw 2 cards. If you've got literally nothing else, but you've probably already lost if you're using this attack. And then for 3 lightning, Techno Turbo, 150 damage, and attach 1 lightning energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. Maybe in like a Miraidon deck where you've got a Raichu and you're using that to set up extra damage. But this also has free retreat, so there is that going forward as well. But I don't see this one getting much play either. I know we've been kind of poo-pooing these cards, and let's keep in mind that these are all like made for starter decks, so they're not necessarily going to be the strongest cards, but EXs, there could be potential use for these here and there, so let's keep going. Koraidon EX, it's fighting type Pokemon, basic, 230 HP, 2 retreat. For 1 fighting, split beam, 20 damage, and this attack does 20 damage to 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. This might actually be not bad in a Ting Lu deck where, yeah, for 1 fighting energy and you're able to damage 2 bench Pokemon, and that means like 2 less with abilities. That could be something cool. And you can mix it with the other Koraidon that attaches energy, and there could be some synergy there. So I'm not saying this is the worst, but could be interesting. We've also got Houndoom EX for, stage 1, 270 HP, 2 retreat, dark type. And for 2 dark energy, Wicked Claws, 90 damage. And if the defending Pokemon is a basic Pokemon, it can't attack during your opponent's next turn. It may be in like a Lost Box match or something. This could be really annoying to deal with. So I don't necessarily want to rule this out entirely, but it does feel a little too situational. And then for 3 dark energy, Hound Fangs, 220 damage. This attack Pokemon also does 30 damage to itself. I mean, it's bringing it down to 240. You could accelerate this with Dark Patch. It's not the worst. This is at least like borderline playable, but it's pretty unremarkable in the grand scheme of things. We've also got Melmetal EX, stage 1 Pokemon, a whopping 300 HP. For 1 metal, we've got Metal Absorption, attach up to 2 metal energy from your deck to this Pokemon, then shuffle your deck, and there's a decent chance that you don't get knocked out because 300, getting a one-shot for 300 is really hard for most decks. And then for 4 colorless energy, Full Metal Knuckle does 90 damage, and this attack does 30 more damage for each metal energy attached to this Pokemon. So if you've got 4 metal energy, you are doing 120 plus 90, like 210, and with the potential to go even higher than that, right? Theoretically, you could one-shot anything in the game, but I think if you're trying to play a deck where you are loading up 1 billion metal energy with the current energy acceleration we have, like a Magnezone, you're probably just playing Dialga instead, and you do 220, plus you get to take an extra turn. That's gonna be better every single time than Melmetal EX. And then, yeah, I don't know if it's worth covering these other ones. No, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. At least at a quick glance, someone in the comments is going to be like, well, you didn't talk about the small of that does. No, that's fine. That's fine. All right. So, again, these are not meant to be like meta-defining cards in Standard. They are being made for starter decks in Japan. They will come out in international shores in some shape or form, probably a combination of starter decks and just being cards, like ultra rare cards in packs as well. I don't think they're terrible cards, but they are not meta-defining. I think in the context of playing entry-level decks with friends, like, yeah, this could be fine. And maybe a couple of these cards are borderline playable, but I think for the sake of the argument, I would not be holding out hope that any of these are going to be meta-defining anytime soon. But I think that's fine. There's room in the game for more beginner-friendly decks and beginner-friendly cards. And based on what we've seen from Paldea Evolve coming up and Pokemon 151, there is a lot more awesome competitive cards on the way. But what do you think of this upcoming set of EXs? Are you happy with them? Are you excited to potentially play some of these in starter decks? Are you disappointed that your favorite Pokemon got done and dirty? Like if you're a Greninja fan and you're hoping for a good Greninja and potentially this is the only one we ever get, how salty are you right now? Let me know in the comments of this video. Twitch, stick around, but YouTube, we got to get going. Thank you so much for watching. You can find me on all the things, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at In Third Person. You can find me on Twitch at In Third Person, where I stream the Pokemon trading card game every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern time like I am right now. And check out the website, inthirdperson.com, for more articles and videos on video games, board games, and other nerdy pursuits. So, until the next one, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.